The Steam Deck. It's the answer I give whenever people ask me, what's your favorite computer? It's a gaming PC, it's a console, and it's everything in between. And today, well, today it's Steam Deck news time, baby. Hey everybody, it's your friend and your guy and your favorite creator who's still wearing masks, Gardiner. There has been so much Steam Deck news in the last week, so let's just jump into it. The first is that there have been multiple Steam Deck beta channel updates this week. And as you may know, there are 3 update channels. Preview, which is quite unstable, Beta, which is a testing branch for new features, and Stable. Beta channel updates happen frequently and preview upcoming features for the Steam Deck. And in the beta update from the 25th, Valve added several experience improvements for Steam Input, the input wrapper that makes controllers more functional for PC games. A huge feature change is that they're slowly starting to replace big picture mode with the new and frankly superior Deck UI. Quote, replaced the big picture mode configurator in desktop mode with a windowed view of the new configurator. This currently only applies to desktop mode on Steam Deck. They've also improved styling of command names and fixed several bugs. The next day, Valve fixed even more issues with Steam Input. Quote, improved touch menu cursor performance and responsiveness, fixed regression with touch menu transparency from August 18th beta client, changed navigation of controller command buttons to keep your current selected column when scrolling, and they fixed issues with Nintendo Switch controller glyphs on the on-screen keyboard. I've always been a controller nerd. If you haven't noticed, I love controllers, and it's really great to see Steam Input evolving and continuing to grow like this. Next up, let's talk about Lutris. Now, Lutris, if you're not familiar, is a heckin' cool video game management tool for Linux, but calling it a video game management tool kinda sells it short. It's PC game preservation software. It's a native GTK emulator front end. It's a scripting tool for installing your favorite Linux games, and it's a simple way to manage your games across disparate digital storefronts like Steam, GOG, and Humble, and many more, and it's just fantastic. Now, I've been waiting months, literally months, for Lutris to actually hit FlatHub so that we can use it on the Steam Deck. And guess what? It actually launched on Friday. Now, I have yet to actually try it on my Steam Deck, but when I do, I'm going to be making a detailed guide here on the channel. Get subscribed so that you don't miss out on the future of Lutris on Deck videos that are coming out here in just a short while. There's going to be many. Next up, let's talk about updated shipping estimates. Now, the Steam Deck has had new updates to shipping estimates, and many people are rightfully pumped. Quote, Steam Deck production has continued to outperform our estimates, and we are updating shipping windows for the Steam Deck reservation queue. This means a bunch of folks who had an estimated order window of Q4, October to December, have been moved up into the Q3 window and can expect to receive their email by the end of September. You can check your reservation window status here when logged in. We're glad to get these out to all of you faster and hope you enjoy the Steam Deck as much as we do. As always, we love hearing your feedback, impressions, and all the wacky things you're doing with the Steam Deck. And I know anecdotally that I've seen a few comments here from people saying that they were in Q4 and they've already received their Steam Deck at this point. That's pretty awesome to see, as we're still in the middle of Q3. Hopefully anyone who wants one will be able to buy a Steam Deck by the holidays, and given what we know so far, that really doesn't seem too far-fetched from me, at least. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. What's really interesting about this comment in particular is this guy said that he ordered a 64GB model in February, and he already got his. So that's really cool to see. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying videos like this? Why not like that smash button and gnaw on that subscribe button a bit? Once you get subscribed, you'll stay up to date with all the cool stuff that we're doing here on the channel. Like, for example, I'm going to be installing Holo ISO and WineSap OS on my GPD Win 2. So watch for that video coming out soon. It should be really interesting because this thing is kind of awesome and weird. Next up, Denuvo is coming to Switch to ruin your Steam Deck and Switch emulation experience. So Nintendo, the Big N as they've been called, they've decided that they're going to be pushing Denuvo DRM in upcoming Nintendo games. The question is, why? And the answer is pretty obvious, because as we've discussed before on this channel, Nintendo hates fun. They are in fact anti-fun, and if you elect to emulate games that you legally own on your PC, or God forbid your Steam Deck, well, that just puts a bee in Nintendo's bonnet, and they can't handle it. What's really frustrating about this news, though, is that Nintendo is going to be including Denuvo. Now, you remember Denuvo, right? They're the universally hated defective restrictions management software that harms legitimate players' experiences while providing a superior experience for those who pirate the game and break the DRM. And now Nintendo is going to be shipping this faulty, defective, harmful software with Switch games to prevent people who legally purchase their games from playing them how they want. Meanwhile, in Valve's Steam Deck booklet, they took the opposite stance. Quote, "Our goal is not only to make a powerful mobile gaming handheld, we also want to make players happy by giving them a truly open and accessible machine." And speaking of the booklet, now Valve introduced a booklet that extols the virtues of the Steam Deck. It was released to coincide with the launch of the deck in Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, and thankfully they released an English version as well. Now, there's a lot of fascinating things that this booklet touches on, but let me just say that as a branding and design nerd, the look and feel of the booklet is on point. The colors and flow of the document really feel consistent with the Steam Deck's branding, and for that matter, Valve's recent branding direction as well. A few of the most interesting things we saw in this book are the multiple photos of Steam Deck prototypes, some of which we have seen, but others we haven't, including what looks like a Steam Controller 2 prototype. And I can't tell you how excited I am for the potential of a Steam Controller 2 and what that might mean for a Steam Deck console. They also mentioned Steam machines, which is something that Valve has traditionally not really acknowledged since they took them off the market, saying, quote, "The standalone computers called Steam machines helped us learn important lessons about providing OS support for games, as well as what work was required to bring Windows games to Linux. This led to the creation of Proton, a translation layer that allows Windows games to be played on Linux devices. It's the bridge that allows us to massively expand the library of playable games on Linux, making Steam Deck and SteamOS achievable." Next up, we have SteamOS. They said, quote, "Steam Deck is a PC, but it doesn't come with Windows. Instead, it runs SteamOS, a Linux-based operating system developed by Valve. We made this decision in order to optimize the Steam Deck experience in many ways specifically for gaming. For example, the sleep and wake functionality built into Steam Deck is tailored specifically for gaming. This required custom work on the hardware, firmware, operating system, and software. And then the really important part, we'll soon be shipping a general installer for SteamOS, enabling any PC to take advantage of all of its features. In addition, we'll soon be making SteamOS available for other manufacturers who wish to make a gaming device of their own." And yeah, you read that right, SteamOS on other devices from other manufacturers, as well as an ISO available for free for you to actually install SteamOS on any gaming PC that you have at your disposal. It's really exciting to see Valve's commitment here, and I can't wait to actually have an official SteamOS ISO from them. And what that might mean for improved ACPI support across hardware vendors, because on Linux, ACPI support is a little hit and miss. Quote, "SteamOS will continue to evolve, including new features and improvements to game compatibility through Proton. As of the time of writing, hundreds of changes have already been made to Steam Deck's operating system since the device was first shipped. That will continue through Steam Deck's life well into the future versions of the product. The work that has gone into Steam Deck's user interface will soon be available through the desktop client as a new version of Big Picture, the version of Steam that's meant to be used with a game controller and on a television screen. And the compatibility work for Steam Deck will be inherited by other platforms like Chrome OS, which will soon provide support for Steam gaming for all Chromebook users." Now, on the penultimate page, Valve says, quote, "Steam Deck represents the first in a new category of Steam handheld gaming PCs. In the future, Valve will follow up on this product with improvements and iterations to hardware and software, bringing new versions of Steam Deck to market. Like the original and like all PCs, these future products will continue to provide access to the same Steam game catalog that gamers already know and love," which honestly hints that Valve is thinking long-term for the Steam Deck. But on the last page, Valve flat out says it. Steam Deck is a multi-generational product line. Valve will support Steam Deck and SteamOS well into the foreseeable future. We will learn from the Steam Deck community about new uses for our hardware that we haven't thought of yet, and we will build new versions to be even more open and capable than the first version of Steam Deck has been. While it's really cool to see Valve talking about future iterations of the Steam Deck, the one thing that I'm a little concerned about is why they're talking about this right now. I mean, PC gamers can be a notoriously obnoxious bunch, concerned about specs over actually having fun. And if you say that we'll be making a Steam Deck too, well, you've just handed them all the ammunition they need to be really annoying about people buying an inferior product, right? Look, not all PC gamers are annoying, but I do know a few, and I think you guys know who you are. Anyway, that was a ton of news. Let me know what you think about any of the topics that we've discussed today in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I think that's gonna do it for now though. Thank you so much for watching. I wanna give a special shout out to Glenn Steen, one of my top tier Singularity members on Patreon. It's because of folks like Glenn that I've been able to grow this channel into what it's become today, so thank you. If you believe in the work that I'm doing and you wanna help this show grow, you can pledge your support to this show using the links below. And thanks. I think that's going to do it for now though. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.